Greetings, salutations. Hello. How are ya? I'm alright. I'm not that great. I'm kind of sick. I feel kind of not great. It's February 11th. I did go to the doctor. I got a PCR test, and it turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Like, how's that? I don't know. I guess it's the goddess in me. Anyway, we're reviewing two perfect albums. This is what we do here every day. Today, Built to Spill. You can't see that this is Built to Spill. This is Built to Spill. And I spilled. It's not Built to Spill. It's Built to Stain and crack. I've worn this shirt for years. It's falling apart. Might be time to throw this away. Final hurrah. Give you the review. Give you the why I held on to this ragged fucking shitty shirt. Because I love Built to Spill. I saw them live at the Middle East, and it was one of my favorite shows I ever saw. They're amazing live. Doug Marsh, great songwriter, great singer. He apparently played on the first version of Perfect From Now On. I think it's their best record. Their second best record is Keep It Like a Secret. I'm going to review them backwards. Perfect From Now On, he recorded completely 3 times, like Prince. Like the first time he recorded it, he played every instrument on it, and then he brought in some other people, the rest of the band, namely. And then I imagine the third one is where they bring in like the cello and the mellotron. Just the fact that he uses mellotron makes me so happy as a Crimson obsessive. But Keep It Like a Secret and Perfect From Now On are kind of a piece. They're released one after another, both in the late 90s. Keep It Like a Secret's kind of like a cleaner, more restrained, poppy, straightforward thing. Probably the best first album to get if you're into conventional rock tastes. If you're into more psychedelic, experimental rock tastes, I would start with Perfect From Now On, which is my personal favorite record. And I'm going to review the 2 best Built to Spill records. Because you're either watching me follow through with or drive myself crazy attempting to follow through with a New Year's resolution to review 2 records every single day. And so, let's start with Keep It Like a Secret. Great name for a record. Perfect From Now On. Great name for a record. The lyrics are very good on these records. The names of the songs are cool. It's just cool music. Just cool indie rock. It sounds kind of dated. I re-listened to these records before reviewing this. To me, these records sound more dated than, say, a Pavement record or a Wilco record. There's something about the guitar distortion, the style of playing. It sort of reminds me of like the Tortoise of this era. There's this 90s, late 90s quality, post-rock, indie rock, sonic quality to it that frankly just it holds up. These are great records still. But I think if these songs were recorded today, they wouldn't have as much of the modest mousy, the flaming lipsy, the tortoisey kind of sonics on it. But anyway, I got the notes, got the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu. Let's start reviewing. Keep It Like a Secret opens with The Plan. Gets into the screechy, raking, dirty, trebly scratching before the solo, followed by the slow melodic breakdown with the verse said over the slow restrained. And the plan keeps coming back again. It's this bouncy, fun riff. And yeah, it's a great opener. It kind of just sets the plate for what you're in for. The lyrics to the song are great. Segues nicely into the bouncy fun riff on Center of the Universe. I love the way he sings the vocal melody of this. I don't like this air. That don't mean I won't stop breathing in. Who doesn't think they are center of the universe being it? It's really clever that he's like singing the guitar line and then that it's sort of almost like a country underneath it. I think this is a very pretty song. And then the bridge section gets into that wobbly, distorted guitar part and then goes back into this bouncy, melodic, fun part. After this, the third song on this record, Carry the Zero, is my all-time favorite song by them. I think I was on a lot of LSD when I saw them perform this live, and it had a profound effect on me. I love the lyrics to this whole song. Kind of just want to read them all. I'm not knocking, you want to carry that home. Took it with you when you moved in, got it broke. Found the pieces, we counted them all alone. Didn't add up, forgot to carry a zero. I can't be your apologist very long. I'm surprised that you want to carry that on. Count your blemishes, you can't, they're all gone. That's my favorite lyric in this song. I can see your response putting back them on, like they're waiting for your guard to fall. So they can see it all when you're so occupied with what other persons are occupied with, and vice versa, and you become what you thought was dumb, a fraction of the sum. Yeah, you have become a fraction of the sum, the middle and the front. Now it's coming back, hasn't it come too far? I was trying to help, I guess I pushed too hard, now we can't even touch it. Pray it'll fall apart. I thought it was pray it'll fall apart, it says afraid it'll fall apart. I also said fraction of the sun, not fraction of the sum. I still think I was right. I don't know. I'll look, see if they have officially released lyrics. But this is what the lyrics they say they are. I think they're slightly different lyrics. Who cares? Who carries the zero? You're just going to be off by a 10th place, right? Not a big deal. Anyway, the chords, just very simple chords, just that. Simple strumming pattern, simple moving through these four chords. It's just this beautiful song. And then gets into a good solo. I like Marsh's soloing. I'll link some live Built Spill stuff so you can hear how when they extend these songs in live versions, they're even better. Carry the Zero, one of my favorite songs. And I'll stop talking about it because I already made you listen to me terribly sing it. Sidewalk is next. Sidewalk. It's like a neat little, there's like a big twin busy guitar riff that builds to a mini peak for the verse. And then there's this 3-note phrase at the end. They repeat, and then it's a bridge and it's melodic. Can you wait for the Can you wait for the sidewalk? Can it wait for you? Can you wait for the sidewalk? Can it wait for you? And that's the end of the song. It goes through kind of two different songs, and then Bad Light. Again, the thin trebly, kind of reminiscent of Modest Mouse, reminiscent of Flaming Lips. Gives way to the chord strum over that. Never, forever, never, forever. Goes into a different section. Back over to the verse riff. Over. Time Trap starts with this distorted guitar pattern. Then there's this neat melodic picking pattern. Builds to a sweet little mid-tempo number with an extended solo. And this different, dirty, drifty progression progression picks up at the end, and then the song's over. Else is like a one note. It's like picking one note, making a riff out of it. And there's a nice vocal melody that comes in that's echoed through something that sounds like a pedal steel, like, or a pedal, some kind of filter on a guitar. So it's like the one note is the underneath song, and then the vocal line is mirrored in this country pedal steel, kind of open sounding pastoral guitar figure. And then this drifty progression at the end kind of forms. Most of these songs change into one different thing that's like a separate song. Or at least the bridge develops enough to where it feels very distinct from the verse structure, chorus structure, whatever. After Else, try to find the blood, but neither leg's away. Try to stand, but neither leg's awake. Just this side of love is where you'll find the confidence to not continue. Your body breaks your needs your body breaks your needs consume you forever. And with this lies the need to be here together. Back into the woozy Modest Mouse bridge, next song, which they build a riff to this crescendo. You were right. It's already bluesy soloing in the beginning with distortion and noise. And then it's that you were wrong when you said everything's going to be alright. Bob Marley was wrong when he told us that. Everything's not going to be alright. But he also quotes every other song that you know and tells you that most people were right. Just we're not going to be okay. But it's just like, you were right when you said a hard rain's gonna fall. You were right when you said manic depression's a frustrating mess. You were right when you said, he just quotes great songs and says you were right. Like all these things were insightful and true. And then the chorus is this, you were wrong when you said everything's gonna be alright. Let me look at the track lists. Time Trap. Bad Light. Else. Okay. I skipped things. Else I did. That second thing I described after Else was... I described Time Trap and Else as one song. That's what I did. Now we're at You Were Right. And we're going into Temporarily Blind. Temporarily Blind builds from, again, a trebly riff into this shuffly build with an instrumental breakdown. And then there's a verse over the newly shuffly beat. Who history doesn't teach it makes none. Turn your back on your taming. Yeah, they might let you say it, but it'd take all day to explain it. This is a different ending section. There's this tight thing where they're playing with this new kind of shuffle beat, and then there's a tasteful mellotron, maybe. Sounds kind of like a theremin, but more tuneful. Then the last song, Broken Chairs, jams out. Starts with composed full band bits, and ending the you can make it stay, well, alright. And as if to prove you can't make it stay, it just changes a lot. There's a lot of like paradox, contradiction, self-consciousness in these. It's very emo lyrics. And after he says, you can make it stay, well, alright. You can make it stay, well, alright. As if to prove that you can't make it stay, there's lots of weird guitar soloing over the progression and changing the progression. To be like, it doesn't stay, nothing stays, everything falls apart. After this developing groove with this building guitar solo, this is one of their better jam platforms, is a live act. It fades out over them jamming over it, basically. And then, I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to be perfect starting now. Perfect from now on. Now we have the mellotron and the cello that I need. Randy Described Eternity. Such a good song. Every 1,000 years, this metal sphere, 10 times the size of Jupiter, floats just a few miles past the Earth. You climb on your roof. Anyway, it's great. It starts with this doom 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 doom. Doom, 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 just like lulling you into this calmness progression, and then there's this electronic distortion that they can't keep under wraps, and then it blows up into the point where that same riff that was so soothing, that doom 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 doom, now it's down, and he's screaming at you about planets and the sun and how nothing lives forever, and it's Randy's description of eternity. Does a pretty good job. Thanks, Randy. Thanks for letting me know what eternity is all about. After that, another one of my favorite songs in this record, I Would Hurt a Fly. Has the strings right away, has a pretty melodic chord, dark, kind of depressing chord thing, and the lyrics are sad and kind of paranoid. It's like, I can't get that noise you made out of my head, I can't even figure out what's making it. It's like fingernails across the moon. He's a great he's a great lyricist, he's a great guitarist, he's a great songwriter. Doug Marsh, A+, Doug Marsh, you got 2 10s, at least. I'll listen to the rest of them and see if there's more. I think there's 1 or 2 more. Anyway. This builds into after the verse, there's this more distorted, aggressive section where there's a mean bone in my body that's connected to the problems that I won't take for an answer, and I won't take that from you because I hurt a fly. And then that's more rock and alt rock, shreddy, back and forth. Then there's just this riff that forms 4 minutes into this song. There's nothing to do with the song, which is just like, and then they just start jamming on that. I could play it for you if you want. Anyway, I think gets across the basic idea of what this jam is. It's a cool jam. Slow build on a riff. It's tortoisey, modest mousey. The riff, it just gets more pronounced in the mix, more distorted, more... Anyway, stop the show. Another one of my favorite songs on this record. Starts with slow Randy Described Eternity type riff, and just like this, and then that goes on for a while. It's almost like this weird kind of Baroque waltz, and then for 3 minutes it's this. For 3 minutes it's this kind of slow, blissful, pastoral, Baroque thing, and then it just cuts into this. You don't tell me anything that's not a dream, it's not a big lie. Your best friend is everyone. That whole. So it's like 2 songs. Like the first 3 minutes of this song are a Randy Described like Eternity tortoise like kind of nice, tasteful jam, and then it turns into a punky, kind of upbeat, Built to Spill song. It's great. Love this song. It would be a good opener for a show because it kind of shows you the 2 sides of the coin, right? Made Up Dreams sounds lo-fi for the first like 40 seconds, 45 seconds it kicks in. Again, he's talking about that stupid sound. He's constantly talking about like this noise he can't get out of his head throughout this record, not just in that one song, not just in I Would Hurt a Fly. It's like, this is almost a concept album to me, the way that he references the planets, the way that he keeps pulling quotes from these mystical authors, and yeah, it's Velvet Waltz. The verse is built on this unsteady beat beneath this delicate picking. The distorted echo guitar wah starts to shuffle in and then build into a rhythmic echo pattern. The drum bass punctuate it with like a bell sounding cymbal. Sounds like he's playing a tambourine with a drumstick, not like a real bell. Not like the bell on the Books record I did yesterday. This is like, not like a cowbell. This is like subtle bell. I like the bell. Ring, ring. It gets reduced to just guitars, and then once it's just guitar, the guitar breaks the structure entirely and starts outlining this completely different melody. And then there's lyrics about this, so it's like you get a new song. Velvet Waltz is like, stop the show, it's like two separate songs that are just on the same track. And then, how could you have known the distance, the temperature of the sun? Again, he's obsessed with the sun, he's obsessed with the planets, he's obsessed with, on this record specifically, there's a lot of motifs, themes that he repeats. Noises you can't get out of your head, things that are hard to ignore, the paradoxical nature of consciousness, and the sun and the moon. Fingernails across the moon, temperature of the sun. This whole album is like a poem about astrology, I think. Our place in the world relative to the other bodies that occupy the universe, how little we understand the universe. The humility and self-consciousness in Doug Marsh's writing, I think, is why I so deeply connect to it, because emotionally he feels like insecure in a lot of the same ways that I am, and I have been reduced to tears by listening to Built to Spill records before, because it's just so, it feels like it comes from such a pure place, such a kind soul. Anyway, so that's Velvet Waltz. Out of Sight, the riff never settles. To me, it's just like it drifts and wanders, seemingly like randomly, and then it lands on this verse structure, where there is graceful guitar figures that play for only a few measures, then it starts, and then goes into this completely different tempo, like double time, fast rocking rhythm chord pattern that has words over it, and then these rhythmic chords, and then with the Doug Marsh distorted raking, and you've released this very busy, beautiful progression. It's like he's made a boogie out of the slow thing, and now it's this stumbly fast beat from the first place we landed at the faster pace, and the lyrics just turn into like literally fa la la over the double time. Change happens again. Now Doug's screaming over it. It goes on and 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 on. And the song's over. Kicked in the Sun starts with, again, pretty country, that nasally, trebly Doug vocal telling you beautiful poetry about the sun and the moon and the planets. And just how awkward it feels to be a human being. How confusing it can be to just be a conscious human. And the chorus comes in complete with backing vocal harmonies until like 4 minutes. If you skip to 4 minutes in the song exactly, there's this circular picking pattern which the rest of the band picks up on finds this new rhythm, landscape, foundation, and it sounds like a new song entirely. And then they stick with this kind of like cakey riff, like the band Cake. It doesn't remind me of a pound cake. There is a band from this era. They were called Cake. It sounds like a cake song, the second part of this song. The second song that this song is, that they act like is one song, is a cake song. Anyway, Untrustable is next. Never feels like it settles melodically or rhythmically. It's just like a constant moving organism. It kind of, for a few measures, if you want to go to exactly 130 in this song, in this pretty thing, but then it very quickly goes back into this bent chord sustaining country stuff, and then there's new riffs, and it's like how they jam eventually goes into this repetitive circular guitar delay pattern with this rhythm guitar bass drum building on this circular triplet figure. Sounds like a backwards delay filter on the guitar. It's got that kind of like Hendrixy, I don't know what it is, but it's a groove. The chords start playing that rhythm. There's like rhythm chords and then the soloing complementary, and it's like a back and forth between like the dark and light, and then the refrain, what are you gonna do? And then it just suddenly becomes straight 4. They've been playing with this triplet thing for a while now. It suddenly shifts into just 4, but now we're playing the melody that was over the 3/4 at 4, basically a double time. Well, 3/4 to 4/4, it would be like 1 and a third, 1 and a... This is why I'm taking calculus, because I don't know how to do math. Anyway, it goes from 3 to 4. And the bass is more prominent, and the drums sound kind of confused, because it literally like feels like it speeds up and slows down almost at random. So they're kind of just following one another. Just sounds legitimately like a band jamming. And it gets into a funky rhythm jam that builds to like this drony kind of jam where they're all kind of meeting each other. And then there's this distorted peak with Doug shredding. I didn't realize until I saw them live that Doug not only writes the music and sings the music, but he's an amazing guitar soloist. And he is the lead guitarist. So, you know, he's like John Fogerty. Like, it's just way more impressive to me if you write the song, the lyrics, and you play lead guitar. To me, I'm very impressed by that for some reason. It's like I'm more impressed by directors that also wrote the script. I'm more impressed by musicians that also take the solo. Anyway, this funky rhythm jam droney thing is just like there's 4 measures of the do. Stop on a dime. Record's over. Perfect from now on. Best Built to Spill record. Second best Built to Spill record. Keep it like a secret. I have to investigate further. Listen to the entire in order Built to Spill discography to let you know if there's other 10s. If there's other 10s, they're going on the list. Making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming. Anyway, we're at 30 minutes. Kind of. We're actually at 29 minutes and 15 seconds. So what should I do for 45 seconds? Should I say a prayer? Should I... no. Here. This is the tea I've been drinking recently. It's almost as good as the expensive matcha and sencha that I like. Serviceable substitute. Get some good honey. Get some good bee pollen. You can even sprinkle some spice in there if you want. You can sprinkle a little ginger, a little turmeric. And if you're sick, like I'm currently sick, it'll help you feel better. The L-theanine is also a natural antidepressant. You should drink green tea. It's very good for you. Thank you.